The guys really threw down. We have 5 riders only in the final. It's going to be really intense with the riders that we have. The course is quite difficult for the roller riders because the park was made for BMX, right?
Exactly. You'll notice that like most of the skaters couldn't get past the 50 points line, not because they're not good riders, just because there isn't many people that are used to such big obstacles. So basically only the guys that were here in previous years are able to pull a good line, good enough for the finals.
And basically, all those riders out there, they know how to get the speed. They know how to get the speed. They know how to get their lines, and that speed is really your friend on that course, I would guess.
It is, because if you don't have speed, you won't be able to get up any ramps, and then you won't be able to continue doing tricks. So at some point, you see some skaters that they decide to just stop somewhere, breathe a little bit, and just gather more speed for the rest of their line instead of just going non-stop and maybe risking just falling because they collapse.
Yeah, exactly. So what are the judges looking for in that type of contest? Like as far as tricks, variety, use of features, what are we looking for?
Well, obviously, like any events, there's always the difficulty of the tricks themselves. But more than that, there is the style, the speed, and the flow that you carry within the park. So how you link those tricks together is also very important, like maybe even more than the tricks themselves. Because if you can pull a really crazy trick, but then you land a little sketchy and you can't keep going, well, that doesn't give a really good impression for the judges.
There are certain types of mistakes, if I can say, that will get points deducted. Like if a foot slides on the side, that's like this much deduction of point, or it's not as precise as this.
I think it's more like an impression. If a trick is landed correctly or in complete control, and you can see the skater is already looking up for the next trick, then it's worth a lot of points. But if you land every trick's a little sketchy and then you can't link everything together, then obviously the judges are going to notice it. So you have to link everything together correctly just to give a good impression to the judges.
So the riders that we're going to see today are going to be, we're pretty sure they're going to be throwing down and going for big stuff, going for big impressive tricks. The crowd is there, and that's always motivating for riders like we have today. I don't know if we can name the riders yet, or if we're waiting for the start list.
Well, without naming the riders, I know that there's definitely 1260 and some double flips in this finals.
Ooh, maybe if you guys follow the roller scene a little bit, that might give you a hint of who's in the finals today. If you are on social media, come check us out on Facebook at FISE.officiel, OFFICIEL, so the French version. And hashtag FISE World, hashtag FISE. We're on it. Like if you're on the site here, we want to see your pictures on Instagram. Hashtag FISE World, at FISE World as well. And if you're on the park, we're 100% sure you're going to have an amazing show for you today. We can hear the crowd from here. It's pretty amazing. So the contest is going to start any minute now. We're going to start in 30 seconds with the competition. It's very exciting. I can't wait to see what's going to be going on with this. So check it out. Beautiful day here in Montpellier. Sun is shining. It's been shining pretty much all day. And we have the big, nice park. As you can see, the river sides of the Les River are getting quite full. And we're only the first day of the event. A lot of people showed up. It's the end of the day, so maybe people are coming after work. You know, a little after-work show. That's not too bad. So here we have the start list. Number 1, Anthony Potier. 2, Stephen Swain. 3 was Joe Atkinson. CJ Wellsmore in fourth rank, if we may. And Romain Abrat is going to be the last one to go. Anthony Potier is on your screen right now.
Yeah, so Anthony is already on the course. He went extremely fast for the start of his run, but had a little problem with the execution of a trick. And then you can see, I think it's Stefan Swain that went with a huge 900, like he knows how. A little kind of a missed flip transfer on the hip here. So there again, also like I find that Stefan Swain is one of the only skaters like with grinds in this competition. Most of the skaters have chosen a bigger wheel setup, so they can't really do many grinds. Stefan doesn't, so like he uses that as an advantage, and you can see that he does like a transfer through spin sole. It is a very difficult trick, and good enough for an introduction run.
Yeah, Stephen Swain is always quite impressive. Every time we see him on the park, he's always very solid. It's nice to see the grinds, I find. With it does a nice little mix-up with the rest.
Yeah, more technicality in the grinds.
Joe Atkinson, the shirtless man, is on the course right now.
He is back, and he goes with a nice 360, and a little bit like we saw with Adrian N before. He went with that little wall ride in the corner. He goes 180 to fakie 360 on the double spine thing here. Actually, Joe is having a much better line than he had in his qualifier, I find. And it should definitely show on his score.
He seems to be a little tired for sure. But they had quite a long qualifier, quite a long day in the sun as well. So we'll see. But these guys always have a little bit more energy that's left.
The next skater from Australia, CJ Wellsmore. You can see like he's going almost one foot higher than anyone in the box jump. You just saw this huge 360, a little alley-oop abstract 450. Then he's going in the middle ramp here, gathering some speed. Almost crashed again, and then goes a little fancy 360, touching a little bit of the deck in the middle. Goes 180. Little 540. You can see like he's a little bit out of energy here. He still made it through. He's just happy.
Always a good relationship with the crowd, this CJ.
Yeah, and I guess it's one of the reasons why like he's a well-known skater, but also well-loved. Like I don't know many people that say I don't like this skater because he's just one of those nice guys and always here for the crowd.
Definitely.
So is Romana Brad though, that you can see right now, and he goes huge 900, almost made it to the bottom of the ramp because he's going so fast. A little, it's kind of a flat spin 360 and then the like backflip transfer. I love how Roman always has a little effect in the way he spins, so everything is just better looking in general.
Yeah, Roman. I always find this guy always look at how much speed he keeps the whole time. I find that he does it a little bit more than other riders. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's true. Like you can see that this guy has been doing this for a very long time and is practicing in the skate park in Gap, which is a pretty good park and a pretty big park, and so that's why he's able to come here and do those tricks in Montpellier. So there you go. Massive amount of speed, 1260, lands it, he puts a hand down, but I think it's still worth a pretty good amount of points.
And Romain Abbat is here to defend the title, even though it was 2 years ago. He was the one who won the FISE Park Roller Pro in 2013. So last year he was not riding at the park here and at FISE. Due to an injury, am I correct?
Yeah, he had an injury, he had a surgery. He was out for a few months, if not more than half a year. And now he's back, and impressively, you can't really see that he's been out the skates for a long time because he's still into his game. So here we got Anthony Potier from Belgium, cruising around the park, not doing many tricks, but showing how much speed he's got. He tried to go a transfer sole grind from the quarter pipe on the very far right of the park to that big wall in the middle. Couldn't get there. He's done. So you got Stefan Swain again. Missed the flip. pretty classy trick and one very old inline skating trick that was done at the beginning of the 90s.
So as you said earlier, we were talking about that during the qualifications. Old school style is becoming the new school.
Yeah, exactly, because obviously when you do the same tricks for a long time, you're kind of looking for inspiration, and inspiration often comes from the old skaters or skaters that you might have forgotten. So CJ is back in the course, is gonna find a new starting point.
Yeah, he went all the way up the big wall, and we know that this means he wants to get speed.
Yeah, and here in the course, Joe Atkinson. Oh, huge transfer. There's got to be like 3-something meters in between those two ramps. Made it, and then
this wall right there.
There even a bigger transfer from those two quarter pipes. It's got to be like 4 meters. The wall ride. The Trispin Fishbrain, if I'm right, goes on the box jump.
Oh yeah.
He goes with that little, wow, how would I call it? It's kind of a 360, but like body slide, chest slide 360. Pretty
Maybe
cool looking.
maybe that's the sweat. That's why he doesn't wear a shirt. It slides around.
Yeah, it has to. There's probably something to do with that. So
CJ dropping in.
So obviously a massive amount of speed from that quarter pipe. He goes corkscrew 630, so almost a 720. Then big air on that quarter pipe, which is probably 3 meters. He's about 2 meters over the coping. Transfer, and then the Trispin Fishbrain. I think it's honestly that's a very difficult little trick to do, and I've seen like at least 4 skaters do it in their line, which is impressive.
Oh, hand plant that.
I'm not sure what it was. I think he just did a kind of a hand plant backflip thing. And,
I think the second hand plant and the trick was not on purpose.
Yeah.
Kind of lost his balance on that one, but CJ always as much of a showman as usual. Always wants to please the crowd, and he sure succeeds.
Yeah. So Roman Abrat again. Huge missed the flip, very slow rotation because he's going so high, all the way up that big quarter pipe. 360 up this edge thing, drops in. He's gonna go with a grind transfer alley-oop top sole.
I feel like he's a little lower on the energy level. Maybe I'm wrong, and he has something in his up his sleeve.
Yeah, or maybe he's just waiting for his last trick and kind of seal his run with it.
Seal the deal.
Yeah. So a little rocket 360. You can see like he kicks the legs in front of him to make it look a little better. Those things are obviously all the kind of stuff that the judge are gonna look for. So like everyone can do a 360, but everything depends on the way you do all of those tricks. And Romain has like a few good grab variations that make all of his tricks good looking. Oh, so that's one of obviously Romain is the only one to be able to do that in the world right now. It's the kangaroo flip. So it's basically a double flat spin 180, and he does like
it's his signature.
And I think he calls that grab the flying fish. It's also a ski trick, and it's when you put your leg right in front of you and kind of rotate on the same axle. So Anthony Potier there again in the park, backwards, gathering some speed. Huh. As I've said before, Anthony is riding on 4 wheels of 72 millimeters, which is the kind of wheels you would use for recreational skating, and it makes it very hard to grind. And as you saw, I tried to do a grind on a small quarter pipe. Yeah, it's just even more difficult to do it.
He's preparing something big, visualizing here what he's going to do.
Yeah, as we see the crowd here, all waiting for Anthony's last trick. So he's, I think he's got something big because he's thinking about it. And as you saw, it's because the skates are so short in length. When you go down a 6 meters quarter pipe, it's very easy to lose your balance.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. He tried to push very hard, like with his knees and everything he had, to get even more speed from the way down, but he almost lost his balance at this point. So Stefan Swain backwards on the box jump.
Oh,
he goes
in the
900
flat.
and he touched nothing. Like he just flew across the whole thing.
That was for his best trick. He's trying to get one more shot at it.
So Joe Atkinson, huge air, goes all the way up that quarter pipe, stalls it. Oh, a little kind of a 360 hand slide up the little box jump here.
We didn't see a lot of these last year. I think it's a new trend, I guess.
He goes vertical Macchio on the fence that is obviously not made for skating, but he's still using it as a creative way to get some points.
I want to see one guy do like gymnastic move over the thing with like both hands, and you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's fit for the style of skating that those guys got, but it would be interesting anyways.
Yeah, that's just.
So there again, you got CJ, and he goes one half a rotation more than the one he did in the previous run. It's like almost a 900 corkscrew. He goes flat spin 540, makes it just across. Alley-oop 450. I think he went a little low. Yeah, he went a little low on this on the landing and couldn't keep it.
As you said earlier too, we were discussing. Oh, here's Dom Wagner.
Yeah, we saw Dom in the
we
corner.
We knew he was going to be here. I'm happy to see his smiley face on even though he's not riding today.
Yeah, Roman is back in the park. Huge 540, probably the biggest we've seen today. Kind of a backflip, a little sideway rotation on the corner there. He calls it the flat spin 360 flying fish. Then again, it's the same grab he did in the other rotation he did before. Very stylish, very slow rotation. There you go. You can see that also. He's probably the only skater that carries the same amount of speed for the whole run. He's still quite quick. So useless to say he's got a lot of energy. Yeah, he's getting prepared for a last trick. I believe it would be the double again. And there you go.
There we go.
Oh, he came very close to landing it. I know he's got it on luck in his hometown skate park, and you need to understand that like doing those kind of tricks in a different skate park than the one you're used to is very, very difficult because all the ramps and the steepness and obviously is different every time.
We're in the middle of the jam session right now. Only 3 minutes left for the jam session. Anthony Potier is back on the course.
Anthony was
That's not what he wanted to do, I would guess.
Obviously, he got through the first phase where he had to go down the quarter pipe, but for some reason, I think he still wasn't happy with the speed he had, and he couldn't do the transfer he was looking for.
Exactly. He tried in the qualification to do the transfer, missed one, and then he got one a little bit earlier in the finals.
Yep.
A nice grind all the way around the corner.
Yeah, very nice looking. That
kind was smooth.
It's kind of a fake. He missed a flip or a bio 540. The 540 and the kicker of the small box.
People who are just standing on the course have to be really careful because you never know where these guys are going to go.
Those guys are just flying in all directions, so you have to be careful and look around for sure. So I think Stefan Swain is going to maybe call a last trick. I'm not sure. He's got some good tricks on the box jump, so he might have a last one or not. As we see Joe. Joe Atkinson goes to.
That's a nice save.
I don't think it was a save, actually. I think it was on purpose, and he just did like a kind of a flat spin or a little sideway 540 in a 1 foot landing, which is obviously very difficult to pull.
Definitely.
And you'll notice that Joe is not aiming at the same. He's not aiming at the same way to gather points than the other skaters. He's going more with original tricks and things or lines that people didn't think about, so that he can catch the attention of the judges that way. So who's turn now?
Next, CJ.
So CJ there again. He goes huge wall ride. It's quite far from the quarter pipe, so you have to make sure to hit it right so you can pull yourself back. And then he goes 540 on the step up. He tried it's one of his. Yeah, it's one of his classic tricks, if I can say. He goes a little flat spin 360 with a hand plan in the middle, which is quite cool looking. So I think it was, yeah, it's Roman Abrat again, goes flat spin 540. Little 180 up to fake it 360 on the step up box jump. I'm not sure he's gonna try to get a better score. Maybe he will, as we see right now. Oh, little again the flat spin 540, barely made it.
That's a tough one going up.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have all the same. You don't have nearly the same amount of time to perform the trick before the landing comes.
Yeah, and Roman like had a few good runs before that one. But yeah, yeah, you got to be careful when you're going backwards. You got to look at what's behind you because you don't want to do something, especially in front of a few thousand people.
Yeah, and I think that piece of feature was not there last year, so
yeah, it was a different place.
It was in a different place, so it's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Well, a few highlights here of what we just saw. Jam session is now over.
So we see CJ.
And we're gonna be heading
Roman.
into a best trick for each rider.
Yeah, as we can see, quite a few good tricks in this jam session. We saw, as you see, CJ big airs and Roman slow rotations. Poitier was there as well. You saw Joe with big transfers and cool original tricks. There you go, flat spin 360, a little transfer there, you couldn't quite get it.
Here we go. So we're ready for the last part of the finals already. And with 5 riders, it goes fast. We're going for best trick.
Yeah, so the first rider is Anthony Poitier, which I think he's going to try the same thing he was trying before.
Yeah, the transfer.
Yeah, and
going up.
He's
with
going like
speed. He's trying to go as fast as he can. Big.
Oh! I think he tried to grind the coping on top of that middle quarter pipe.
So transfer to grind.
Yeah.
That's quite. And there's nothing on the other side of that quarter pipe.
Yeah,
so if he falls on the back,
Are you ready for your last trick?
He's gonna give it another try. I know.
And as you know, Anthony is using the fastest skate setup there is right now on the course. And although he's going that fast, you can see that he's barely getting on top of that rim.
And
even though
with the big wheel setup, so the fast wheel setup, and doing the grind is going to be even more difficult than normally, right?
Yeah, but I think with the speed he's going to have, nothing is going to stick. At some point, you're going so fast that even the worst thing is not going to stick. You're just like, well, that it's going to have to do. So
pushing it through. Here he is, ready to drop in again for his transfer to grind.
So crazy amount of speed. Probably,
oh.
I'd guess there's like something like 50 k's an hour down that ramp.
Yeah,
pushing it up.
Down the ramp.
Yeah.
Sure.
And well,
give it another try. I think he thought he was thinking a little too much on that one. Maybe sometimes a split second of hesitation in the head of the rider is going to make them not pull through the trick.
And as you said, like there's nothing behind that ramp, I believe so.
No.
So you don't want to hesitate because it could be devastating.
And you don't want to look where you don't want to go.
Yeah,
exactly. That's always the rule in extreme sport and action sport. Don't look where you don't want to go.
True.
But where do we look? Exactly where we shouldn't look.
Yeah. So you have to fight
That's the difference between the pros.
Still couldn't make it. So if he's not going for it, it's I believe it's because he knows he's not fast enough. So sometimes you'll think like why isn't he doing the trick? But it's normal procedure. Like if you think he can't do it, why try it?
Because he has to go up that little ledge there.
Yeah,
and he's kind of losing some speed with that for sure.
There's quite a few steps to take. Like he's got to go next to that box jump. It's quite narrow, and then up those little decks on the other side of the park. So you have to take every steps very carefully so that you don't lose speed at any moment.
And that mind game at this precise moment is really a tough one. You have to shut down your brain so that you don't think too much.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure he's just feeding from the energy the crowd is giving him, although he's focusing on the trick.
Pushing really hard, and
almost made it.
That was very close.
So for the speed, that was it.
Yeah, he definitely had the right amount of speed, and he managed not to fall too much. Like he slid down, like you said earlier. These guys know how to fall.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously it's an important part of inline skating, aggressive inline skating, the one where you want to avoid falling, and you'll see the skaters using their arms a lot to pull themselves out of the ramps and try to roll out instead of just falling down.
Another rider.
So Stefan Swain
is.
So there he goes again with the backwards, like backwards 900, and he landed it. We couldn't see exactly the landing because of the angle of the camera, but he landed it pretty easily. It's like he has to be at most 3 meters in the air, like doing 2 turns and a half, and manages to land it perfectly. So there we go. We see Anthony going on the ramp again. I don't know if he's going to have another try. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but we just saw Stefan land it first try. So maybe also he's going to have a few other chances to do something else. Now we got from England, Joe Atkinson, big air on the.
A little bit of pedaling on the.
I'm not sure exactly what he was looking for, but he did the walking man, we call it. He did the walking man across the box jump. So there again, he's gonna try
Pull it together.
Yeah.
Give it another try.
I think he's trying something after the box jump, and he's just looking for the right amount of speed with. You saw he hit the side of the other quarter pipe that is in the other direction.
In a situation like this, do we consider it as he landed it? Because he rode it out and then fell from.
I think it's up to the judges to know how long you need to be rolling to make it count as and also like we know those skaters pretty well. So if you see the skater roll like this and you know that if it wasn't from that little what was on the course, you know like he landed it. So maybe it's a little advantage of being quite famous. So yeah. I think it's going to count as being landed. So there he goes. Oh, that's like, you've seen him before do so it's like the fakie 360 with a hand plan on the horse thing there. He did it in 540 in his qualifier run, and now he just tried it in 720. So that's fakie 720. So 2 turns with a hand on the obstacle in the middle of that big spine. Quite difficult trick. Obviously, because you know, like you have to use your arms to be able to spin. So if you put your arm down on something, it makes your spin different, and you need to adapt to that.
CJ going from the top of the big round, trying to get as much speed as he can.
That has to hurt.
Yes.
So CJ went all the way up that middle small quarter pipe on the top of all those obstacles on the left part of the course, and even there went with a full air to gather even more speed, and then 540 straight to the flat, which has to be, I'd say, like 4 meters. So
that poor knees and ankles.
What's incredible is like to see those guys just stand up after this, because you'll see the guys fall on BMX and skateboards, and it's I think, like, I wouldn't say it's worse on inline skates, but it's definitely not the best, because most of the time
it goes straight in
your body. Yeah, your body's the first thing that hits the ground. So
and CJ had the back problem, so landing on a flat like that sure does not feel good for him.
So as you saw, he tried it again, and what happened is that when he did that small air on top of the little ramp, he wasn't quite quick enough, and he just bailed it. So there you go. That's a little trademark CJ trick when he goes with the kind of flat spin rotations with with a hand down. You saw Joe try again this fakie 720 hand plan. Well, we call it hand plan, although it's just a hand tap, but it makes it very like hard. Like a fakie 720 and this trick has nothing in common, let me tell you, because he won't spin the same way when you have to put your hand somewhere. Roman oh, I think that's gonna hurt. Yeah, Roman is I'd say like a fighter. When he's got something in his mind and he wants to land a trick, especially in an event important like the FISE, he's gonna try those tricks. No matter how long it's gonna take, he will land it.
Yeah, and but you can see I think his hip is bothering him here.
And it's especially dangerous because he's got an injury before.
So that's the last rider.
Yeah.
For the best trick contest.
So you can see how high he goes for this.
And then he just cased it, like his legs just seem to have collapsed under him from the impact of the landing.
Yeah. Obviously, you gotta go like as high as possible to slow down the rotation, because if you spin too fast, there would be no way to stop it from spinning, and therefore
too much momentum.
Exactly, you won't be able to land it. So
getting a little bit of motivation from the crowd.
So going so high is the only option, although it makes it also very difficult to land because, as you saw, you need so much leg energy to keep it together and land the trick. So there he goes again. Kangaroo flip. Oh, and he's got it! Oh, he'll be happy because obviously he wasn't part of the event last year, and he's got like so many tricks, and he's been working so hard with ski instructors to pull those new tricks and bring those new elements to inline skating, and he's just got the trick in this. I think it was the last try, FISE Montpellier Park. And he just did it.
That's the good thing about the FISE Montpellier. The best tricks it always pushes the riders to keep trying, and they have more than just one try. They can give it a few tries, I think 3 times, until and sometimes even until they get it, but just for the crowd, and it doesn't even count for points. So we're gonna see the best moment of these finals here.
Yeah, we saw Anthony's attempt at the transfer, and then that was Joe fakey 360 hand plan. Oh, huge 540 to the flat. I'm pretty sure that tonight he's gonna feel it. And then Roman's last kangaroo flip, so double flat spin 180. Pretty gnarly trick. Impressive that he can pull it during a situation like that.
Absolutely. We're gonna see the results in just 1 second. Joe Atkinson takes it home.
Well,
Stephen Swain second, Romain Barat third, CJ Wilsmore fourth, and Anthony Potier fifth. Joe Atkinson.
Well, you gotta remember that it's like the runs plus the best trick. So it's not only like what we've seen in the few past minutes. So they add a lot of stuff together.
That's true. But you were saying like Joe Atkinson, he was trying to do different. He was trying to catch the attention of the judges, and he succeeded.
Yeah, he's just got a different approach to how to win the contest, or how to get some points, because maybe he knows that he won't be able to compete against the double flips from Roman or the huge transfer from other skaters. So he's just trying something different.
Very creative rider. Brought it home. Congratulations for all the riders who participated. Thank you for being with us today. And then tomorrow we'll see you again for a lot more action tomorrow.
Yep.
So we are excited to check this out. We have 4 more days for the 19th edition of the FISE World Montpellier. I'm Dom Granger. And I'm with Pascal Raymond.
Yeah.
And
I have a family name.
You have a family name, Ahmed. That's great. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow.